My name is Alanah Larson Farrell, and I'm a Communities and Social Performance Specialist with Rio Tinto, BC Works. My message for the audience at Nation2Nation is that our aluminum smelter has been operating in Northwest BC for 70 years, and now we're planning and looking forward to the next 70. We've employed more than 4 generations of local residents here in Northwest BC. And as we move forward, it's very important that we continue our local partnerships and especially with Indigenous communities. The first time that I attended Nation2Nation Fall Forum was last year, and I was so impressed with the caliber of the event that Lisa is able to put together in such a small community. I think one of the most important things that happens here is the conversations. I know, of course, a lot of planning goes into the agenda and putting together incredibly meaningful panels. But just as important is the informal networking that can only happen when you have a group of people like this coming together who all share some portion of a shared idea or a shared vision for the future. So I think what Nation2Nation is doing is facilitating those conversations between industry, nations, and government. And it was really exciting to be part of that this year. By hosting the annual forum, what Nation2Nation is able to accomplish is bringing together so many different aspects of the resource industry and the economy. On a local level, things like this have an enormous impact. This year we were hosted here in Kitimat. I know all of the local hotels were sold out. The impact locally is going to be incredible, and I know that's something that Lisa thinks about when she's planning these events. She brings in local vendors, provides opportunities for different local businesses to participate in many different ways. And having an event like this in a small community makes an enormous difference to the community. I think it's important to have a space for these conversations because every time these conversations are happening, they evolve. So the more spaces that you can create or offer for conversations to happen between First Nations communities, industry partners, other economic drivers, and government officials, the more that all of those entities can come together and do something amazing. I really think that some of the conversations that I've had today with different industry partners, I'm excited to see where they go. And I know we got to hear today from some of the people who have done business pitches here in the past, and the success that they've had coming out of that is incredible. So I really think that what Nation2Nation has been able to accomplish in the years since it started is something to be proud of, and I'm very excited to see where it goes in the future. My experience this year at the Nation2Nation Forum has been fantastic. One of the things I love about how Lisa runs this event is that she allows conversations to happen as they happen, which sometimes means not necessarily being married to an agenda, as we saw this year. But I've been able to have incredible conversations with network partners who I never even knew existed, and connect some of those partners to other people in my network. And hopefully those conversations are going to grow into potentially partnerships or new initiatives that nobody would have thought of if Nation2Nation hadn't come and brought those people together. So I think my experience at Nation2Nation this year has definitely been one of connection, community, and growing opportunities. I think one thing I can say about Nation2Nation is if you don't know if this kind of conference is right for you, right for your business, right for your organization, you should come. There are conversations happening here that can't get captured by an agenda. They can't get captured by a social media post. And it's hard to explain on a video exactly what it's like to be here. You need to experience it for yourself. And if it's something you've been thinking about, or even something you have never heard of until this moment, you should start planning for the next annual forum because it's going to be incredible.